Club. If you haven't, then welcome. My name's Colin. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to bore you with that, but it's all about startups, and it's all about trying to help as many people as we possibly can in their journey, whatever that journey looks like. This is all about a safe space for a founder to pitch without punitive measures, without being scored below a 2 or a 3 and being threatened with expulsion from whatever program you may have joined us from. So please make sure that we connect up on LinkedIn. Happy to have conversations outside of this, of course. But rules. So for those of you who haven't been to Pitch Club, if those of you have been, apologies. I know it's a bit boring, but first rule: ready, smile, enjoy, breathe. Rizal, you've just pitched to me just literally before this call. So keep smiling, keep breathing, keep showing up. Second rule: talk about Pitch Club. Unlike Fight Club, talk about Pitch Club. This is a 2-minute pitch, ideally a 2-minute pitch, and then you'll get feedback of around 2 to 3 minutes. And you'll get feedback, again, always with love and respect and constructive feedback from some of our hosts and mentors on the call. Are you a helicopter? No, don't pitch and roll. That's what helicopters do. So that means once you've pitched, don't bugger off, because a lot of the value in this is listening to the feedback for other pitches as well. It's okay to screw up within reason. Please get your tech working. You've got 15 seconds. Okay, or we're going on to the next one, maybe 30 seconds. And yeah, some other stuff. I'm not going to bore you with that. We've got some super cool software coming. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, you're going to love it. But basically, you give us the pitch deck and we give you investor grade feedback in about 10 seconds. And it's live. But apart from that, it's okay. Right. So typically what we do on the chat here, we ask for volunteers. Who would like to pitch first? Hi everyone. Who wants to put their hand up? We're small enough group today to put hands up, so please put your hand up if you'd like to pitch first. R dot. Sadiq, I've just seen your sunglasses. R dot, as in Carlos, right?
Yes, Colin. Hi, Colin. Hi, everybody.
Hi, how's it going? You good?
Yes, very intense as usual.
Yeah, well, big time of year. We've got Christmas presents and trees to put up soon.
Okay. Are you going to have like 3 minutes pitch?
Yes. Go for it.
1 minute. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me put big. I'm going to start. Thank you. My name is Carlos, and the project name is Ardot. We are a digital art gallery. We use Web3 technology, our media and everywhere. We see that there is a, because I cannot see the screen. Our brains are hyper-connected to the speed of light. There is a change, a digital transformation in the world. And we see that the new generations, millennials and Gen Zs, they are the attraction, or they are the motor of that. They are connecting in another way, and they expect exceptional experience and community building. Okay, this is the generation, how it works. And then as a brand perspective, or as a company, we see that the companies, they need to reconnect again with the new generations emotionally. Okay, the people, they are not going there just to buy something. They need to connect with the brands. They need to connect with the communities. And we understand that the brands, they need to rethink the way that they are going to do that. From our side, and because I have like 20 years experience in luxury and fashion brands, we understand that digital art, or I understand that digital art is a way to reconnect with the generations and to engage with the communities. And we create a platform that you have a marketplace in Web3, because we understand that is the way to protect the rights of the artists and the royalties. And then we have like 2 parts. That is the Web3 player that you can buy. You can create a playlist and you can enjoy digital art. And then the third part, that is more the curiosity room, that is the AR experience that you can play, you can create content, and you can create community. Market research, we're talking about 37 billion in our market, and if we talk about metaverse, we're talking about 120 billion. And we talk about in blockchain art, the last year it was half a billion. And then we see that we can generate a revenues of 8 million in the next. We are in DSL collection, that is a private collection that they want to push the boundaries. We are in Sandbox. We have events in Fabric to push dance floor and digital at the same time. And we have a project with Tycoon that is a museum in Hong Kong. If we see competitors, we see like OpenSea and Super Rare, like a marketplaces, and we see Sedition and Neo as a streaming services. In Ardot, we can cover all that things and we can do it in Web3, and this is our advantage. The team, we have the founders, Tatiana, Paul, and myself. We have two investors, that is a blockchain lawyer in Hong Kong and XRT Explorer. And then we have a strategic partner that is the MIS and Moongate, that is part of our networking. And then we are asking for a fundraising of $650,000 that we are going to spend 20% in team, 30% in go-to-market, and 50% in research and development. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carlos. Very, very interesting. It's come a long way, the pitch, since I last saw it, which is actually was only a couple of weeks ago, right? So I'm going to hand over to Dr. Bazzanti to see what you think. Dr. Bazzanti, what do you think?
I think it was really good. The timing is really great. You covered most of the sections on it, on the go-to-market, on the competitor analysis. That was a really good introduction. I feel like I understood what it is. I know Web3 and that I'm not really familiar with that industry as much. I'm in the medical side, but I want to congratulate you on well said. I mean, you did have disconnect in the audio, but well played. Love your passion. I saw it, you did it before. I think there's a lot of improvement that you did from this time, from the last time you did this. So it was really, really great. I see improvement. Keep on going.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, so Carlos, you had a couple of outages on the Wi-Fi, which meant that it was very entertaining the third time, because it meant that your voice, already fast, was unbelievably fast. But I found that entertaining, but maybe an investor wouldn't. But I'm not quite sure if that's just something going on in your house or what, but that kind of falls under the category of annoying tech things. Luke, what do you think?
I thought it could have. I thought it looked beautiful, but then it should do with what you're doing, I suppose. I thought I would have liked a clearer kind of pain identification. Again, it's not my sector, sorry. Although I do spend quite a bit of money on that. That's one of my things, but I don't understand this side of it. It would have been better to see a clearer. I didn't feel I clearly understood the pain that was being addressed. It would be good to see more simplification of that pain point, I suppose, for somebody who doesn't understand either the technology or the sector.
Okay.
Thanks, Luke. Carlos, really important that, because of course, you know, everyone or many people that you're talking to at the moment, and any other FI guys here, of course, you're in the program now, and we start to get used to the pitches and start to understand what the pitches is. Luke's never heard this, you know, so that's pretty valuable, I think. Mark.
Yeah, so look, I'll revert back to it's much better than the first time we saw the pitch. So there has been some improvement. I think that the first time that you pitched, I did say to you that it's still a bit confusing for people from outside of the industry, and you need to kind of simplify it. And I think Luke's raised that again this week. I think those first 2 or 3 slides still don't tell a good enough story, to be honest with you, in terms of exactly, you know, what problem you're solving or where you're positioning yourself, and why. And then the slide that kind of breaks down the 3 core areas, I think that needs to be kind of expanded on a little bit and made clearer. So rather than having images in there, I think it needs to kind of just have three clearly defined sectors that you're talking about. You've got the metaverse in there, but again, as per my initial comments and what was been raised again by Luke, is you need to position it as if you're talking to somebody that knows nothing about the space. And especially when it comes to the NFTs, OpenSea and the other competitors, some people, amazingly enough, don't know who they are. They just don't. And for us, that's amazing, right? We can't conceive of the idea that people don't know what NFTs, blockchain, or OpenSea are, but to a lot of people, they don't. So just bear that in mind. But other than that, much better than the first time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Carlos, you happy with that?
Yes. Just trying to improve as much as I can with the complexity of the metaverse thing.
Yeah, good man. Liked it a lot. Happy to. I'm going to be opening up a whole bunch of office hours in the next couple of weeks. So
we are mixing art with luxury and with metaverse synthesized in a way that you can explain.
That's just like everything I do, arts and luxury. Okay, right. So
sorry, Colin. Carlos, are you in the Founder Institute Accelerator program?
Yes.
Feel free to book some office hours with me. You'll find me on the mentor section.
Okay, thank you. I will do.
Okay, Rizal, last minute addition to the Pitch Club. Welcome, Rizal. Good to see you. You're on mute, sir. First rule of Pitch Club: make sure you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, thanks for inviting me, and that was a great presentation. I guess in terms of my quick review of it, is I don't know enough about the space, but I guess
your job here, is to present.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Just because of time, just because, not that we don't love your opinion, but just because of time. That's all.
No worries. No, I thought we were still doing opinions. That's why. Okay, I'll go ahead. Can you guys see this?
Here it comes. There it is.
Cool. Okay, so I'm doing a project for developing countries, and it's something that I've been invested in myself for about 2 to 3 years, creating the technology with the team, etc. And I'll tell you a bit more about it as I continue. In developing countries, healthcare is quite difficult, and what we want to do is when we go in there to provide healthcare, we want to do it in a way that actually lets people live in hope for a better life, not just enough just to live. So I think to support that, we're going to support a bunch of mini missions, which collectively will accomplish that goal. If I would talk about the challenge of healthcare in those countries, there's lots, and I can go into detail in any one of them, but I'll leave that for the moment. I think when somebody reads the pitch deck, they'll see that if they need to. When I presented this to Colin a few minutes ago, he asked me, what's the solution? What am I doing? And I was like, there was a slide in there, but it's not. But essentially, the reason I didn't have the slide is because the solution is kind of explained in the business model of it. First of all, we're going to go into the title countries and provide them a whole bunch of free services that helps people to live a better life. And it takes whatever information they have, it creates a medical health record for them. And in many cases, that'll be the first time they'll have a medical health record. And it does some more interesting things with that, so they can help themselves to get a better life. We'll create a marketplace that will help us to grow. It'll create the revenue that we need for maintaining the service, and we'll take it from there. We're going to explode the level of opportunities that is available across the model, and that gives us further opportunities for revenue, as well as further opportunities to help people. And managing that marketplace is pretty much what we're after. Key info, we're just looking for 250K at the moment. It is really to launch our product, launch our service. It needs to be done in a structured manner, because in those countries, people don't know what a health record is to start with. We need to educate people on how to use one.
So just for housekeeping, that's 2 minutes. You've got what? I'm going to give you 1 minute left.
Okay. And well, that covers what we are looking for. The team can explain that differently. Progress to date is we've built the platform and the marketing campaign, and we're pretty much ready to go to market. So we're just looking for partners for the next round. I'm happy to conclude there.
Okay. I apologize then, because you had 30 seconds there. Result. Look, obviously, look, we're all new to this. And of course, we just had an opportunity to meet for the first time. In fact, I think we met at the business show, didn't we?
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's always very, very difficult for all of us trying to hear a pitch for the first time, because you're sprinting like hell to catch up. Those of you who've been here before have heard me say this a million times. And so ultimately, trying to hear as much interesting stuff right at the very start in a 2-minute pitch, that really, really helps. So any kind of traction that you've got, any kind of, you think about maybe even the team, or but where you started was obviously the fact that there's a big problem in the market. I'm still a bit unsure as to what the problem is. I think that there's a problem there, but I'm not entirely sure if that's articulated on the slides, is my first thought. And that's where I started asking the question in our previous session. And I think you did actually mention that just there. Colin asked, well, what is it I'm actually doing? So I guess in any early stage pitch, you're looking for pain in the market, and aligned with the pain is the value proposition of the business. It's like yin and yang. Yeah, you don't have a value proposition unless there's pain in the market. So quite clearly, you've articulated what the pain is. Well, I say quite clearly, I understand what the pain is. I'm not quite sure as to who is affected by that pain, the size of that potential market, and how you're positioned, ideally as a business and an individual founder, to actually address that pain. So that's kind of what I want to hear as part of that story as well. You've got me on the hook, but I think I've kind of just pulled myself off the hook and jumped back in the ocean. Okay, so you know what I mean? You got me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Okay. I'm going to pass over to Sadiq, who's our resident expert in all things medical.
I kind of concur with Colin on. Initially, it was like really interesting and got me on the hook, and I'm passionate about what you're trying to do, and I'm building something similar in that field. A couple of notes I took here was the problem slide was general. It was generic. I didn't feel the specificity. I didn't feel like what exactly problems are you solving. So well-defining problem will be very narrowing it down to a specific niche or how you're doing it. Then you jumped straight into the solution, which was, this is a 2-minute presentation. So kind of like having a simple liner, maybe saying affordability, accessibility. I saw you also went into in detail about maternal health, infectious, and other sides. Maybe just identifying how you're going to solve it, adding a little bit of more highlighting the difference, how it's different, how it's better than everything else out there. I didn't feel that. The market size, you kind of covered it-ish a little bit, but the business model, one thing is more detail on the pricing strategy and the cost structure would provide a clearer picture for the financial that are saying financial viability. Okay, I want to invest in this. What does that mean? How much is it going to cost? The traction side, I would take that out, because what you're saying, we have an active Facebook account, is what you put on the traction. I don't think that's a good traction to showcase to investors. I think you had on the timeline, maybe that I didn't get enough time to read it, but I think that would be a good traction. Say, here's what we did. We built a team. We have a software. We have this. We've done this. That's a good traction. Even though it's not yet in the market, it's still a good traction. It's better than an idea. Really, really well done. I'm sorry to take too much time here, but the team slide is really good. I think you just highlight everyone, what they're doing, who they are, and how they contribute to this growth. And then where you're going to use that, fund is also very important, and how fast are you going to track this, and what's the projection look like? Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this. I'm excited to see where Omni Health can go. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sadiq. Awesome. Mark.
Yeah, hi. I mean, look, so for fear of repeating some of the comments that the guys have made, the challenge slide that you had there had a lot of content on it. I think there was something like, well, you weren't on it long enough for me to count. But yeah, you have, I think there were like 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 9. And you kind of, so this is your problem slide, right? That you need to get buy-in from the people that you're showing it to. And you kind of skipped over it and went, yeah, I could talk about this a lot, but I'm not going to. And you just went on to the next slide. This needs simplifying in that a lot. You need to have the key challenges pointed out, but in terms of the content, that needs to be your storytelling and your narrative behind it. And with that said, it's a great time to sort of talk about that, because having the narrative behind the presentation is really, really key in what you're doing, because the images on the slides should be really simple, and then your narrative and your passion and your storytelling should support those images, and then with that you have a structure in the right order, which is what I think Colin mentioned. So look, some work to be done. Let's have a session, but not bad.
So Rizal, look, we've just met Rizal. So Mark, Rizal's not in a program. He's not in the 12-step program just yet. At the end of this, he might be in the some kind of program. Hopefully not AA. What I would say, Rizal, is that there's businesses that are solving every single one of these problems, these challenges, and there's probably 1,000 million businesses solving each one of these. So there's such a thing as trying to boil the ocean as well. Yeah, so I'd be looking for, I think someone did say the magic word specificity, put my teeth back in. Very much applies here. What's the bit that you're trying to solve? Yeah. Luke, are you anything to add there?
No, I think they're I think the slides could do with taking some of the weight of the words out of them and trying to visualize them, or at least slim them down as much as possible. It feels incredibly intense to engage with as a deck to go through. Slides like this just kind of blow me away, and you have people kind of squinting to see them and they're not listening to you. So there needs to be a better way of defining and capturing what you're doing without just using lots of words. This feels like more of a deck you'd send for somebody to read. There's probably too many words on it for that as well, and not so much of a presentation deck.
Thanks, Luke. And Rizal, look, early stages. I just want to thank you for giving it a go and showing up and smiling, and taking all the feedback on the chin.
It's all welcome. It's really good.
It's not so much harsh. It's always with love and respect. Always. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good job. Well done.
Thank you.
Can you stop sharing your screen for me, please? Who next? Who's next? Olivia, over to you.
Hello. I've practiced a 3-minute pitch, but I'll try and cut it down.
We can do 3 minutes. That's okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As it's you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes. Ready when you are.
So I'd like to introduce you to Swoop. Think of the last time you tried to sell something online. Maybe you felt overwhelmed at the listing process. Although the resale market is growing 4 times faster than broader retail, there's still massive inefficiencies within this system. So Swoop is not another resale platform. We're not competing with eBay and Vinted. Instead, we're a tool for secondhand fashion lovers that's using computer vision to enable the instant listing and discovery of pre-loved goods. To sell an item, simply take a photo and we'll use market data to suggest the resale value and to auto-generate a listing that can be posted across the web. To shop an item, take a photo and we'll find pre-loved alternatives from all of your favorite marketplaces. 70% of secondhand shoppers said that they would use Swoop when they're out shopping. So we're currently testing our MVP and we have over 4,000 waiting list signups now. We also have recognition as one of the top 100 impact-led startups. There's currently 23 million secondhand shoppers in the UK alone, but we're going to be targeting Generation Z initially because they're buying and selling secondhand faster than anyone else. And it's an age group I know very well. Based off our marketing objectives, we're going to target 270,000 active users in the first 3 years of operation. This will allow us to generate just over 17 mil in revenue. We're going to be doing this by operating a freemium model, offering paid features for resellers. During year one, we'll operate at a £3.50 cost per acquisition, generating just over 650k in revenue. I won't dive into financials now, but for our go-to-market strategy, we're going to rely heavily on building a community of resellers. We're going to be doing that by hosting in-person events, running ambassador programs at leading universities, and creating a strong community on TikTok. We're also going to be integrating with all of the big resale platforms from version 1. Therefore, our users can shop from all of their favorite places from the get-go. So we're unique in the market at the moment because we're the only tool that's using computer vision to enable the instant discovery, but also the listing of pre-loved fashion. I'm Olivia and I have experience working for big brands such as Dior and Ralph Lauren, and Swoop was really born out of my frustration that the industry just isn't doing enough. I'm building an incredible team who's super passionate about driving community pre-launch, and we also have an amazing board of advisors. We're also hiring for key tech hires at the moment to help us progress on that side of things. We're raising 140k from angels at the moment ahead of our seeders round launching in February. This will give us a 10-month runway to cover essential costs until we start generating enough revenue. So thank you for listening, and I hope you join our resale revolution.
Oh, you were 4 seconds over. How dare you? Well done. Very, very good. And again, real nice evolution from what was to what is now. I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna give Luke a chance to go first.
Love it. Good pitch, Olivia. Really liked it. Definitely like to hook up afterwards. What value's the SCIS round at?
So we're raising at a 2.5 mil valuation, but with a 15% discount because it's ASA.
Okay.
So 2 mil.
Let's chat about that afterwards, if that's okay. I mean, I really liked it. I thought it was a good pitch. I really like what you're doing. I've got a few kind of ideas and things that I think could improve it really. The obvious thing for me is runway, and whether there's any way of stretching those rounds to make more runway. 10 months goes incredibly quickly, trust me, because everything takes longer and costs more than you think it's going to. But I'm sure there'll be some ways of kind of eking some more out of that probably. I've got mine are more ideas than pitch feedback, Colin, so it's probably best if I kind of capture these and we have a chat about that separately. Olivia, kind of just some ideas for impact and how to get that acquisition moving and make it compound it essentially.
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, let's Colin, can you sort that out?
Yeah, absolutely. More than happy to put you guys in touch with each other, of course.
Thanks,
thank
Luke.
you. Sadiq.
What an amazing pitch, amazing idea, great presentation. I want to say there's so much need for it. And I also noticed there's a couple of, but it's also idea about the business itself. You just got our minds moving about the inside the business. So I felt the problem. I felt the solution. You touch on the market size. I felt like we all want to suggest on how to improve the business model, or the business model is great already, but how can you accelerate and grow this? Great, impressive traction so far. I also want to notice that, I see that great. One thing on the team side, I love interns. I hire interns myself, and I saw that you have your marketing interns and your social media intern. You put them on the team. I wouldn't necessarily put them on the team. I would rather, put maybe advisors and a team that are really working versus interns, or maybe just promote the interns to be, whatever. Just but I'm a big fan of interns. Colin knows that. The financial side, I like that projection. You have all your financials in order, and I love that you skip that. You have everything like set and structured. Here's our
Yeah.
projections. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our target market, our audience. Here's what we're going to focus on social media. Really, really great. Asking for the funds was great. I think this was a really, really good presentation today, and I think you have a really good business model.
Thank you. Thanks.
Impressive. Thank you.
Thanks, Sadiq. Olivia, for context, the interns. So Sadiq's the only person I've ever known to basically have hired around about 1,000 interns. Run a graduation ceremony for the interns with a professor with a flat cap, where I get to come and talk as the motivational guy at the end.
Oh my God, amazing.
But the funny fact was that the graduation was actually a very clever, Sadiq, a filtering mechanism. It wasn't that they were going to get kept on. They were graduating because they weren't the best ones and they were getting kicked out, which was just
it's a positive way of looking at it.
Yeah. Anyway, look. Okay, Mark. Anything else to add to Olivia's pitch there?
No, Olivia, that was awesome. You have the passion. You have a great narrative behind those slides. The slides and the structure and the way that you presented was just great. One of the best that I've seen in a long time. You have really good understanding around your business, the model, your go-to-market strategy, which is critical in terms of marketing, user acquisition, the technologies that you need for that user acquisition and user engagement and user retention. Something I can help you with if you want to have a conversation. Are you in the accelerator program?
Yeah, I am. So I'll book in via office hours.
There's partnerships, and then there's technology for success, because that's going to be critical in terms of user acquisition, app store optimization, conversion rate optimization, and then of course the user engagement itself, which is really, really key. So we can cover that off. But really good. I like the business, and I think you're great.
Thank you. I'll definitely book in a call because that sounds like it'd be really helpful at the moment. Thanks.
Okay. Olivia, just a couple of final things. I really enjoyed it, but then I've kind of floated around on it and listened to some narrative, la la la, and you take us on a journey, which is great. I love that. And then I got to the team slide, and I'm like, oh, actually, if I was fresh to this, I wanted to hear, hi, I'm Olivia. I want to hear that right at the start.
Okay.
Because I think that's one of your strongest bits, because you don't have a huge amount of traction just yet. So it's like, right, here I am, and you're bringing that energy immediately. Not that you didn't, just maybe that's me. I don't know. Interesting. I think what else do I think? No, I don't think anything else. Oh, it was great. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you for the advice, everyone.
Cool. Right. Who's next? Abdullah. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, not too bad. Is a 3-minute pitch okay?
Looks like it.
Thank you so much.
We might have to just start to squeeze some of the feedback, guys, much as keen and eager as we are. Abdullah, you were a subject of conversation yesterday in a meeting I was in.
Really? I hope it was good,
It's okay. No, I'm joking. It was great.
Okay.
Now, just we can see your notes. We can see your script. So I know that you're going to say you're a 22-year-old Muslim who's keen on investing in the stock market.
Wait.
I'm just okay.
There you go.
So all you need to do is click on swap view. So do the presentation, swap it. It does it to me every time as well.
Second.
Yeah, so do slideshow again. Yeah, just click on, see the slideshow button. Just, can I hit?
I cannot click the button over here.
This one here. Oh, no, this one here. Oh, ow. What have I done?
No, that's it. That's it.
You've done it. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. I'm sorry. I've vandalized your slides. Sorry.
No worries. Sorry about the delay. I don't know what went wrong.
No worries.
But whenever you guys want me to start.
Ready when you are.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Abdullah, and I'm a 22-year-old Muslim who's keen on investing in the stock market. Tesla is one that catches my eye. It's innovative, promising, and their financials look great. But here's my big dilemma. My faith, Islam, guides not just how I live, but how I invest as well. And when it comes to stocks, that's done by filtering them for Sharia compliance based on criteria provided by the main governing bodies. But the criteria for Sharia compliance are very complex and dynamic. And it's not just about what I invest in, it's about how I handle my profits as well. And there's also this bit about purification where I need to remove a small percentage of my income and donate it to charity. All of this without expertise is a very daunting challenge, leaving me with two unsatisfying choices: costly brokers or risking my faith. And I'm not alone. Millions, if not billions of Muslims around the world face the same problem. That is where Harvest steps in. Harvest is a Sharia compliant stock trading platform. We ensure that all the stocks listed on the platform are Sharia compliant and continuously monitored by experts. And as for the purification process, that's 100% automated. We take care of the complexity so that you and your investment remain true to your faith. Our user experience aims to be as simple and straightforward as it can be. First, you log in or sign up, then you choose a stock of your choice, then you either look at their compliance reports or invest, and whenever you're ready to take your profits, you sell, purify, and you're good to go. And our concept has resonated deeply by others as well. With almost 200 positive survey responses, over 10 in-depth interviews, and backing from academic research, it's clear that Harvest is answering an unmet need in the industry. A lot of seasoned investors we spoke to highlighted their concerns for potentially high commission fees, making it impractical for professional traders. That is why we created a tiered commission model. This structure is designed to be fair and accessible, aligning our success with our users' investment journey. While we aim for Harvest to cater to all Muslims, our target audience are Muslims between the ages of 25 and 40. These are individuals who want to invest in their future and have the means to do so, but they lack the time or expertise to navigate the complex world of Sharia compliance. In a landscape with platforms like Islamically and Wahed, Harvest distinguishes itself. We aim to be the only platform where Muslims can invest directly into individual stocks without the stress of brokers, focusing on simplicity and user experience. We are currently in talks with over 30 stock brokers and 2 stock information providers who will provide us with the trade execution and Sharia filtering capabilities we require. We're looking to raise £500,000 to bring Harvest to life. This will be the first pre-seed investment that will help us develop the platform and gain the necessary licenses. Thank you for your time, and see you using Harvest, harvesting halal wealth.
Abdullah, good job. You got 10 seconds. What do you want to say in 10 seconds?
10 seconds.
Too late. Finished.
Sorry about that.
Abdullah, I'll let you into the feedback that we were talking about the directors at FI. We think you're really good, and we think that the fact that you're so open to feedback is a wonderful quality. And we're obviously going to try and gun for you in a good way and try and get behind you all the way. So really enjoyed that pitch. The only muffled alarm bell in the back, somewhere in the distance of my big head, is around competition. And and then from competition, then of course comes the conversation around how do you protect this? How do you outcompete? Because there quite obviously are some competitive platforms out there, and there have been for quite some time. Almost 10 years ago, when I embarked on a bit of a share and stock trading mission, there are halal compliant platforms out there, Sharia compliant platforms out there, etc. So if it was me, I'd be asking as an investor, well, why the hell are you different? Sorry, Abdullah, with love always. Who the hell are you? These guys have been doing it for years, so what's new, what's different? And I did see that in some of the competitive matrix that you flashed up. But equally, again, it is a dim, distant, muffled alarm bell, but it's enough for me to go, I'm going to do some due diligence on that. I'm going to start, digging around in that and see what else is out there. And if there's a perception that someone from a marketing perspective can put in place that matches your value proposition, then you have a bit of trouble. Yeah. So like I said, dim, distant, muffled alarm bell, but maybe one to consider. Luke.
I thought it was a good pitch. There was some like kind of artwork on top of it where someone had been doodling on it.
Sorry, it was me.
Oh, was it you? All right, there you go. I'll let you off that one then.
The slideshow button was, and I couldn't take it off.
Oh, is that what you're trying to do? Okay, cool. Sorry. I'll let you off that one, Abdullah. Yeah, I thought it was quite a good pitch. I also had some concerns about that, the USP element of it and where that gap was. Kind of along what Colin said. I think the document that the slide that you showed showing that wasn't the clearest. And I couldn't tie those USPs back to a value proposition for your business. I could potentially make out how you were different. I couldn't work out if that was a value to customers or if there's value for your business of it. So I think simplifying that, but giving it more impact would be useful. I've got some connections in similar markets I think it might be worth speaking to, including a kind of AI investment platform that's run by somebody Muslim who's looked at this in the past. So happy to hook that up if that helps. I think it was a good pitch, well done. I think it just needs to go through that process of finessing it, your delivery of it, and really hammering it home. It feels like you should be able to deliver that pitch where people are desperate to give you money for it. It doesn't feel like it's quite there at the moment, and that's not particularly criticism, which means keep going at it and condense it to the point where people are going, wow. The obvious thing that people aren't going to understand is the challenges and the prerequisites of Muslim investment. So I think that's probably something you need to kind of really simplify a little bit as well for your audience, most of whom might not understand that.
Thanks, Luke. Abdullah, have you had feedback from investors? Who have you floated this past just yet?
Mainly potential customers. Haven't really spoken to any investors yet.
Okay, all right, good to know. Mark.
In addition to everybody else's comments, look, it's super simple in terms of the products, in terms of your slides, super simple, great narrative behind that. And I don't want to repeat everything that everyone else has said in terms of competitive differentiation and the actual competitor space, which needs more research. I agree with that. There needs to be some more there needs to be a couple of slides around the team that you've got in place, your proposed go-to-market strategy, or the rollout of the app, et cetera, where you're spending the money. Just a bit more information on that would be useful, or at least to demonstrate that you have an idea of what that's going to look like. Other than that, it's good job.
Okay.
Well done, Abdullah. What do you think of that feedback?
It sounds like valid feedback. Thank you for your feedback. I just have one question when it comes to feedback. Obviously I used up almost all of 3 minutes. What parts do you think I should reduce on to focus on the competitor and the go-to-market?
It's tough at this stage, where you're not at traction, you're not at customers just yet. You're trying to get as much out there as possible in that 3 minutes. What's your special sauce? I'd be really, just like with all of you, Luke's got your hang up, but certainly, what's your special sauce, Luke?
I think that's the thing to work through that practice. You might actually want 2 decks potentially. One, if you're pitching to there's some investment angel networks that are Muslim investors, you might want a deck that pitches to them with their knowledge of the sector and the gap more, and one to a non-Muslim audience who might need more explaining. That might be a way of doing that. The other thing I meant to say was, I think you said you got 6 months feedback with that round. That's never going to work. No one's going to back something like this with 6 months runway. So you definitely need to look at how you can either reduce costs to extend that, or have to look at raising more money. 6 months is way too short for something like this.
Thanks, Luke. Just for everyone's benefit here, look, this is a sample deal room. This is a Series A sample deal room. And you see, look, there's 3 sections here in pitch decks. Yeah, to Luke's point, there's the investor pitch. The investor pitch is the long form pitch that can be sent without necessarily having any explanation to it at all. Now, the difficulty of a 2-minute or 3-minute pitch is actually you want to try and get elements of the investor pitch in, but realistically, this is a presentation pitch. Yeah, so the presentation pitch is realistically, this is you with the big bold graphics behind, talking, articulating, allowing you to get to know the investor and get to know the customer, etc. And this is some of the challenge in certainly the FI program and other programs, in that how do you get all of this stuff into 3 minutes? Just remember, everyone, you're not trying to sell anything in 3 minutes. Yeah, and this is like, this is the cardinal rule of all things sales, marketing, everything. You're just trying to get to the next step. Yeah, so, if you think about, what's your next step? Your next step really is a meeting. Yeah, this is your quick first elevator pitch. Yeah, this is the first conversation that you're going to have. You don't try and close someone in 3 minutes, ever. Abdullah, good job. Okay, who next? Ben, you've been sitting there as well.
Can I do a quick 30-second comment?
I forgot you. I apologize.
No, it's right. Yesterday I was playing pickleball with two Muslim investors that are in the stock market, and we were talking about, you mentioned Tesla. We were talking about how Tesla, and they were opening it on the way back here. A lot of people are going to use it. You're very young. You're very amazing. You have a great product. Looking forward to see how you can grow this. Take a second to look at competitive, do some really deep down research, put it out there, make yourself stand out. Great job. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you so much.
So I think I know what pickleball is. I had pickled onions last night. Is that the same thing? Oh, pickleball. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. I know. I'm joking. Okay. Where did he go? Oh my God, he's gone. Did I just?
Sorry.
Michael was ready to go, Colin.
Michael's ready to go. Michael, are you there?
I am indeed.
There you are. Where did Ben go? He literally just legged it. Wow. Oh yeah. Oh well. Michael, ready when you are. I can't believe it was rabbit in the headlights. Okay.
All right. I just want to check to make sure there's no like gray bar on the screen or anything, as there always tends to be whenever I share my screen.
No idiots done the doodling. No, you're all good.
Okay, perfect.
There's a gray bar at the top. Is that the Zoom window?
Yeah, it's the Zoom window that I can't seem to like get rid of fully.
Go on, mate. Let's go for it. 3 minutes. Just bring it in.
Alrighty. Hi everyone. My name's Michael Lynn, and I'm the CEO and founder of Creds. Creds is a two-sided marketplace supporting both artists and content creators. Now, artists are always looking for exposure and a way to monetize their music. And content creators, as one myself, are always looking for ways to generate revenue, but are also looking for different sources of music and have yet to be able to get to that commercial music that they actually truly want in their content. Now, the main problem that exists that is underpinning both of these issues on either the artist or the content creator side is the licensing mechanism. Now, this is difficult because it can take a long time for a commercial track to be licensed, up to 4 months and even longer, and up to $10,000 or a couple of $1,000s, depending on the track and depending on the time it takes to license it. And that obviously just does not fit towards digital content creators. So how are we going to do that as Creds? Creds is going to take track data, descriptions, how it's supposed to be used, how the artist wants it to be used, and store that and compare that directly with how a content creator wants to use a track or is proposing to use a track. We can then compare that in-app and get that license time down to seconds rather than months and get that cost much lower than it is now. So the market opportunity. The market is actually giant when we look at a potential expansion into film, television, and all other licensing processes. But at the moment, we're focusing directly on sponsored content creators and independent artists and smaller music labels. There's over 3 million creators on YouTube and Twitch alone, which is just 2 platforms with over 10,000 subscribers. That means they're a micro-influencer and can get paid up to $3,000 per video to feature sponsored content. For musicians, there's several 100,000 artists posting to platforms like SoundCloud yearly, trying to get exposure. And we've spoken to smaller labels and artists themselves, and they want a platform for exposure. We've spoken to Universal Music, who said they would use this tool if it existed. So the competition that's currently in the market, Epidemic Sound and Licked are two other libraries that exist. One is a royalty-free in the form of Epidemic Sound, and the other works commercially, which is Licked. When you upload to Epidemic Sound, you lose the control over your music, but you get license utility and you get a low barrier to entry. Licked, you maintain control, but forgo that license utility and low barrier to entry. Both of these platforms also do not have that exposure element, which really gears content creators to use the platform. So the business model is a freemium platform with us taking a percentage of licensing fees on both sides of the market. And we look to generate most of our revenue through our premium products, such as that exposure element, which we call the Music Launchpad. We also will have AI-powered music content matching system, which we hope to expand as we license more. So the team. There's a young founding team, which is backed up by our experienced CTO, who's brought multiple products to market, and our head of design, who brings excellent best practices from her work at Deloitte. We also have a music industry experts in the form of Sandy and Martin, who have both worked at Universal for a number of years. So what are we looking for? In terms of funding, we're looking for £500,000 to get our version Michael, 0 to a version 1.
30 seconds over, Michael, but wrap it up, please, because we're running out of time.
Okay. So, and that will get us to bringing in our first launch round, which is our phase 1, and then we'll look to scale the offering after that. There we go.
Sorry, mate. I do feel I put you off at the end there, but you know what? If that elevator only lasts for 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and you've got a 3-minute pitch, then you can't close it, right? You can't close the meeting. So thank you for that. Really enjoyed that. Just try and squeeze on the timings. It's always very different in different environments, how long it takes. And it invariably, it kind of is almost like a plus or a minus of 15 seconds. So you'll come in at 2 minutes 45 on a 3-minute pitch, depending on the environment, or 3 minutes 15, because the adrenaline, you know, makes you that. Look, I can't even talk. Makes you talk that a little bit faster, makes you do things a little bit quicker. You might accidentally jump something, etc. So just kind of chill, breathe, etc. I think that's really good, though. Luke, what do you think?
Sorry, to be quicker at the unmuting. I think it would be good to see some examples of the theoretical, I appreciate, but some theoretical examples of the platform in action and the benefits it gives to people. So like a real understanding about, you know, a customer persona, how they use it, how they would currently operate, and how this could work for them. So to really bring that alive, so I can see the value that we're then offering and how we make our revenue off that as a business. I think it would also be good to, what was the thing I was going to say? I think it would be useful to be able to understand whether the expectation is that people will use this exclusively or not as well. Whether this is a whole shift of doing everything through this, or whether it's only for certain types of an individual creator's content. Would they put everything through this, or would it be partially? So they still need to use the status quo methods of this as well.
Mm.
Thanks, Luke. Great feedback, Mark.
That's really good, Michael. I mean, you did a good presentation whenever it was a couple of weeks ago. I think you've certainly got the story down now and the narrative behind it. Got a missing components there towards the end that I think a few people have missed out, which is just an idea of, you know, how you're going to get to where you want to get to in terms of your go-to-market maybe and your plan. Not super critical there. Look, I get it. It's super simple. The slides are simple. Yeah, good job.
Thanks, Mark. Sadiq?
I just want to echo everyone else's comment. Really great job, great slides. I liked it. I feel like your energy was there. You know the space really well, and great job. I don't have too much comments, but I think you did really, really well. It's not my space, but impressive.
Thanks, Sadiq. Michael,
Thanks.
I was just going to ask about the competition slide, and it's one of actual defensibility versus perception. Yeah. So one of the big challenges that, I always see in terms of positioning a new product is that the competitor very easily can just say, oh, hey, yeah, we do that. And they might not actually do it, but they can say they do it because, you as the incumbent may not actually have protection around it, which means they can't do it. Now, what I'm trying to get to is how easy is it for those competitors to actually get to the position where they're on an equal footing with you, and then maybe not an equal footing that is, absolutely like for like on a product, but from a perception. And perception can do a lot of things. It can completely debunk a value proposition. So, for example, tomorrow I could create a business that's identical to Speaks in every way. I might not actually be able to do it, yeah, but I can say that I can do it, yeah. And that could be enough to persuade some customers to go with me as opposed to Sadiq. So that's what I'd like to maybe drill into at some point in the future, in the near future. How do we start to defend? How do we start to position so that if they do say it, we can quickly call bullshit on it?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of research into it and used all the competitors' products, and I kind of have a pretty good understanding of how they do the process. So if it came to the need to justify why it would be difficult for them to do a quite quick pivot, I could.
Awesome. Excellent. Great answer. Okay. Is anyone else is anyone else happy to pitch? We're kind of on time, but as always, I kind of ask anyone if they're happy to stay a little bit. We might be able to squeeze one in. I think Rakib and also Oladimeji, you haven't pitched, but we can always wait for next week. There's always next week. Okay.
Great job to who pitched today. Really, really amazing stuff, guys. I'm really impressed. Every week you guys come up with stronger, better, and more concrete. Nice to see these. Thank you so much.
Sabi, apologies, we didn't get to you either, but maybe next week. Excellent. All right, guys. Look, mentors, panel, whatever we want to call ourselves, bunch of chances in a room on a Wednesday at 4:00. Thank you very much for all your feedback. Great job, Olivia. Great job, Carlos, Michael, Abdullah, and everyone else. Really appreciate it. Cheers, everyone. Razel, cheers. Take it easy. Ciao. Bye-bye.